What's up, guys? We're here for round 12 in Formula 7 Realistic. We're here at Silverstone. It is a sprint race tonight, so it will be very interesting. Short quali today, and that's what the drivers wanted. We like to prioritise the drivers at F7, so we decided to switch to the short quali to shorten down the time a little bit, as we see Sandro out on lap. So we'll see the lap times come flooding in very early. Cloudy skies here at Silverstone. Going to be no rain today, just a cloud, as we do follow the realistic weather forecast. Hi Vixen, hope you're feeling better, mate. So we'll stay on board with Sandro. Everyone's going to be on the soft side, I imagine, so we won't put that out. So Sandro just coming through Stowe now, getting ready to start his first final lap, coming into Vale. Blocks up slightly there, coming out of club, so we will stay on board with Sandro here, heading down the Hamilton straight before we head into turn 1 and 2. Flat through here in 8th gear for the McLaren driver. Normally optimal for 7th gear there, but heading down into Village. 3rd gear, clips the curb nicely. Slightly off the apex there, the Norwegian driver, but not going to compromise his lap too much. DRS open, down the Wellington straight, heading into Brooklands. Sorry, forgetting my corners. Coming through Luffield now in 3rd gear, ever so smooth on the Bernardo keeps doing the poles, Sandro, Dennis, sorry. But anyway, Sandro coming through Cops now, Maggots and Beckett's, down into 7th gear. I'm not using all the track there, Sandro. I just think he wants to get such a banker in the first. We're on board with Super Turbo, but he sets a 1 minute 27.4 as the first lap this session. Coming into Stowe, the Norwegian driver, and now he's just got this final set of corners here, down into 3rd gear. Clips that curve ever so nicely. Bit hesitant on the throttle there, Sandro. It's going to be a 1:25.8 for the Norwegian driver. The Italian Fantas on a lap coming around Cops now, heading into Maggots and Beckett. Of course, the transfer driver, he could have scored points last weekend at Austria, but just slightly missed out. Yeah, he's coming through the hangar straight now, heading up towards Stowe. 5th gear for the Dutch driver. Of course, in the Italian Alpha car, soon to be Visa Cash Up RB next season. Anyway, coming around the final corner now through club, it's going to be a 1:26.8 for Tampines. Got a Williams coming to the line now, that is Mad G. The Williams reserve, normally a Aston Martin reserve, but he'll come to the line, he goes P5 or 1:27.5. Ties is coming through Brooklands now, down into Luffield in 4th gear. There's going to be a lot of difference there. A lot of drivers like that in 4th gear for stability, and then a few drivers like it in 3rd gear. Coming down to Cops now, Ties keeps it in 8, using all the track available to him. Coming through Maggots and Beckett's now, down in 6th gear. Nicely done by the Dutch driver. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream from Rinaldi, his teammate, his Dutch counterpart. Is Rinaldi going to move over? Yes, he is. That is beautiful work, Toe, from the Alpine team there. Down in 6th gear through Stowe before we come to Vale and Club. Down into 3rd gear. Hear the tyres screeching as they lock up. Short shifted to 4th gear. coming to the line. This is going to be a 1:26.6 from the Alpine driver. So we've got Gennady starting his lap now, coming through just off the Hamilton straight, coming through turn 1 and 2, heading down into Village. Ever so slightly off the apex there. Down in second gear, but gets that second set of that sector 1 done perfectly. He's going to receive a tow from his Dutch teammate as well. Some tyres before we head into Brooklands. Braking at 50-metre boards, down into 4th gear. Been a tidy lap so far from Gennady, down into 3rd gear. Just goes a little bit narrow there on the exit. Would have cost him maybe half a tenth or so. But got the power down nicely. Stays in 7th gear for Cops. Haven't seen a driver do that yet. Not very confident on the throttle though, as you see him ever so slightly lift off before we head into Magnus and Beckett. Using all the curbs available to him. Misses that sort of green tarmac beforehand. It uses all the exit curves as we come out of Chapel. Down the hanger straight. He's keeping it in 7th gear, up to 8th gear now, coming through Stowe, 6th gear. On the curb ever so slightly, using about half a car length off the track. Down in Vale, 3rd gear. Coming to the final corner now, a bit hesitant out of club. It's going to be a 1:27.4 for tonight, puts in P6. Got Undertaker Dylan on the lap, the only Alfa Romeo driver out on track tonight. He's coming down to Vale, down into 3rd gear. And he's coming through club now, 4th gear. It's going to be a 1:26.5 for the Alfa Romeo. P2, nice lap from Dylan there. Got our first Red Bull on track, both Red Bulls on track now. That is Panda, and then we've also got our Ferrari debutant in Maxi tonight, of course, signed during the mid-season. This is his first race back since Australia, so not Australia, Miami, sorry. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does, of course. I know he's been putting in the practice. See if anyone's on my lap currently. We've got the Mercedes reserve, Bad Boy Man coming through Stowe now. Stowe, Cops now heading into Maggots and Beckett's, using all the curves so nicely, but keeps it in 7th gear, which is not going to be optimal. He's not going to get the rev kick in, but he does set a purple sector 2, so it must have been a very strong sector 1 from Bad Boy Man. Heading into Stowe now, sorry, down into 7th gear. A bit hesitant on that throttle, you can tell. Hasn't been driving for a while before we head into Vale. I believe Mel's has gone to full traction. You normally don't see that from around here. But as Kim comes out, he's invalidated his lap time. So he'll be going again. And we've got a handful of drivers now starting their lap. We'll start with the lead car. I believe that is Panda. It is indeed. He's coming through down the Wellington straight now before we head into Brooklyn. Braking just after the 50-metre boards, down into 4th gear. Keeps it in 4th gear, coming through Luffield, using all the track on exit there. Heading down to Cops, keeps it in 8th gear. Check on the few drivers behind. We've got Lewis on our lap. We've also got Henke on his out lap. We've got Brian Max a block Borsa on his lap. He takes the curb there. Wouldn't be ideal for his lap time. But we'll go back on board with Pando as he sets a power protector 2 before he heads up into Stowe, 6th gear, using all the curb on entry and all the curb on exit as well before he heads down to Vale. 3rd gear. Get all them apexes nailed to a thread. Coming through the final corner, it's going to be a 1:25.1 from the Red Bull driver. We've got Maxi to follow up on his lap time. What is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:26.1, enough for P4 there. Solid first lap back for the Belgian driver. I'm not sure who just set a lap. That's Lewis gone P6. Got an Alfa Romeo Phantom starting his lap time. We've got Henke also coming through, starting his lap time. Senjo is also going again. Of Alfa Romeo Royker, Alfa Romeo Aston Martin, sorry, goes P5. 126.3. We've also got Ben coming to the line now to set his first lap, still 125.4. So it's a current Red Bull 1-2 at the minute. We've got the other Alpine also starting the lap. That is Ty's. Got a Williams coming to the line now. That's also Jack starting the lap. So got drivers setting the lap. So we've also got Dennis coming through down the sorry guys, down the hangar straight. You're gonna jump in, okay? I'll invite you then, mate. That is good to see. Vixen can race. Of course, been struggling with illness all day, but we'll invite him there. Anyways, Dennis coming through the final corner through club. It's going to be a 125.1. It's provisional pole for the Ferrari driver. As the other McLaren of Henke comes to right now, it's going to be P3, splits the two Red Bulls. So everyone just heading into pits now, but we've got GG on Nick on the lap. He's coming down the hangar straight. Got a bit of traffic in front of him. I think that's Maxi block before he heads into Stowe. Down into 6th gear. Maxi's just going to pull out the way before he heads into Vale. Keeps it in 7th gear. Brakes just after 100 metre board. 3rd gear. The Mercedes driver. Short shifts to 4th. We've seen a lot of drivers do. It's going to be a 126.0. Got the other Haas of Kim now starting his lap. Don't believe anyone else is on our lap at the minute. We've got Fear Jack coming through Stowe now, sorry. We've also got Ty's just behind him who's invalidated his lap time, so. And also Jack has abandoned his lap. So that's it for everyone as of now, I believe. Don't think anyone is on our lap. Nope, no one is on our lap. So 4 minutes left. Vixen has got into the session, so that's good to see. Kim's on our lap, sorry. I've completely forgot about Kim. Anyways, coming out of Woodcut now. Preparing himself for Cops. Full throttle through there. Nice confidence from the Korean driver. Heading into Maggots and Beckett's now. Dabs with the brakes there. Down into 6th gear. He's got Mercedes in front of him, which pulls out the way nicely. He's going to try and get a toe, but that might have cost him a bit of time there, I think, Kim. Before we head into Stowe. Down into 7th gear. A bit hesitant on that throttle there. Before we head into Vale. Coming around club now, it's going to be a 127 dead for Kim. Puts himself just ahead of Trudeau. His teammate is also beginning to start a lap. Got Vixen out on track. As he invalidates him out lap. Good. Maggi is also on his out lap. And I believe Trudeau is starting his lap heading into Abbey through farm and now down into village before we go around the loop. Just dab the brakes there, nicely done from the San Marino driver before we head on to the Wellington Straight DRS Open. Before we head into Brooklands and Luffield, braking just after the 50 metre boards into 5th gear. Down into 3rd for Luffield before he really needs to exit out Woodcut here. It's in P15 right now, he won't be happy with that. Normally pushing to the sort of top end of Q2, maybe sometimes in Q3 sometimes. Trudeau keeps it flat through Cox. Before we head into Maggots and Beckett, he's really got to swing the car in here. Bit hesitant on the brakes there. Don't think Trudeau's feeling confident just yet with his grip level. He's got the half a Kim in front of him, he's going to give him a toe. This will help his lap time a lot. Before we head into Stowe, of course. 6th gear for Trudeau. Heading into Vale now. 3rd gear, gets that apex, clicks nicely. 2nd one not so well, but won't hammer his lap time. He's going right now, it's going to be 26.9 that overtakes his teammates, goes P14. Vixen's coming through Beckett's now, he's gone wide. He's managed to keep the lap valid though. As Maggi retired from the session, that's him done with qualifying. He will start at the back of the grid, assuming Vixen and Getty can set his lap better as Vixen dives into the pit after invalidating his lap at Stowe, sorry. So Trudeau will start no higher than P14. Also Jack's had enough, so it's going to be near the back for the Williams drivers. Got Zetu, who's going to be the first driver to set a lap time. I don't know. Vixen's not going to have enough time to get back out. That will be qualifying over for Vixen, so Vixen will start at the back of this grid. So I'll stay on board with Zetu as he starts his only and last qualifying lap. Just seeing a lot of traffic out in Stowe, yeah, there's a train of 4 cars here. 2 Ferraris and a Red Bull. I think they're just all waiting for their turn. They are all waiting. Really needs to give each other room here. Thankfulness has gone down the inside of Panda. I'm not sure how much time they're going to have left. Maxi box gonna get they're there, yeah. They've got 12 seconds left, so they have to cross. I don't think all these drivers are gonna get to the line. Bad boy man. He does. He's got tyres just behind him. He will get to the line, I believe. Yeah. So all the drivers cross the line. We'll go back on board with Zetu. Coming to Stowe now. Down into 6th gear. So using all the track there. Still adapting to this car. Zetu, of course, transferred just before Austria. Coming through club now, it's going to be a 1:28.0. He will start in P19. Got the Aston Martin of Lewis coming to the line now. He's just coming around club now. It's going to be a 1:26.3. It's enough for P9. The other Aston Martin of Reuters is half a tenth up, coming out of sector 2 through Stowe now, heading into Vale. Down into 4th gear. Here's the tyres screech as he takes this sausage curve. That is going to really affect his lap time. I think he's not going to improve. He isn't, and he's going to stay P10. We've got the McLaren of Sendro coming to the line now. Hit that's P5. Henke abandons his lap time. Nick's coming to the line now. He's invalidated lap 2 tenths up. We've got a Red Bull Ben coming to the line now. He's 2 tenths up. It's going to be P4 for Ben. We've got the Ferrari of Dennis coming to the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. We've got so much traffic here. Panda's 2 tenths up. He goes provisional pole. Maxi goes P6. Ginaldi also coming to the line. He's 3 tenths up. He goes P15. Undertaker Dylan's going to be the final driver, and he is well down on his back time. Henke went P3. I didn't quite catch that. So it's a repeat of this one. Front row again. It's going to be Panda and Dennis. Only two 100 separate them, but it is Panda on pole. So of course it is Panda on pole for the sprint race, of course, followed by Dennis in the Ferrari, Henke in P3 and Ben in P4. On the 3rd row of the grid, it's going to be Sendra in P5 and then Maxi, the Ferrari debutant, in P6. Tyres and TTL Nick on the 4th row. 9th, Bad Boy Man. 10th, Lewis. Got Royker in 11th. Undertaker Dylan in 12th. Fanfinus in 13th. Trubo in 14th. Gennady in 15th. Kim DeBoom in 16th. Beer Jack in 17th. Badgie in 18th. Zetu in 19th. And Vixen, the end driver not to set a lap time, will start at the back of the grid for the sprint race. So the drivers here all getting ready before they do get their formation lap underway. We will see a mix of mediums and softs. I say that, Jack's the only driver who started on the mediums. All of the other drivers are on the soft compound tyres. So we'll just stay on board with Panda as the formation lap goes underway. So the drivers now getting ready to take their grid slots. Of course, P1 starting on the left hand side here. So of course, very fast first right hander in Abbey. So Dennis will want to get significantly alongside if he wants to think about any move before we head into turn 1. As Kim is disqualified. So watch for the lights. Build up the revs. And it is lively. Does Dennis get the start he wants? No, he doesn't. Panda gets a great start. Ben's looking to challenge Henke at the start. Don't see much going on as Royker's made up the position on Lewis. There's contact at the back. There's a McLaren round. There's a lot of... There's so much going on here. It's carnage at the back of this grid. I see it. There's a Red Bull at the back. Ben's at the back of this grid. Henke in P16. We've lost so many positions there. But it's still going to be a squabble at the back here. Coming through Brooklands. Just on board with Kim now. It's too wide coming through Luffield. Henke's looking to make the move. Past Fear Jack. Goes a little bit wide. But it's still Panda that leads the front of this race. As Dennis is getting ever so close to him. Coming up to Maggots and Beckett's. Is he going to look for the move? No, he's just going to back out. He's going to prioritise the exit coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. There's a yellow flag. There's an Alfa Romeo office. Undertaker Dylan. But we'll stay on board with this battle here. Dennis could potentially take the lead coming up to Stowe. He's going to get the run on him. He's just going to sit behind before the braking zone. Zendro's up into P3. Maxey's up into P4. What a start by him. Hamsmith has made up 5 positions off the line. Jack made up 5 as well. Great start for them drivers there. We've got more yellow flags. It is Ginaldi that's round. Ginaldi is round. Stay on board with Ben. He's going to be looking to make some moves on after that early collision. Apart from that incident, turn 1's been a clean start to this race. So we'll see 2 drivers going wheel to wheel here. It is Henke and Lewis. Is Lewis going to get the move done? Henke, of course, with teammates in gold. Henke's going to look for the switchback coming out of the loop. He's not going to get the run done. Will he get it done into? Yes, he is. He's got the straight line. He leads coming up to Brooklands. He's into P9 now. It's a great recovery drive from Henke so far. Nick in P5 P5 in a minute. He's on that soft compound tyres. He's made up 5 positions. There's a massive pile of cars behind Henke. Ben's going wheel to wheel with Super Turbo here. Down into Cops. We'll see what happens. I think they do. They're wheel to wheel. Trubo makes a move stick. He does go a little bit wide, but Ben will retake that position. He goes into P13 after that early collision. Got Victor, Undertaker Dillon looking to make moves early on as we've had Gennady round the back. He's 7 seconds behind the rest of the field. There's going to be Lewis looking to get the run on Henke here. I think he's just not going to have the straight line. All these drivers coming through. Stowe now. Panda still leads after lap 2 around here. Dennis is still right behind him, as you see Sender and P3 coming up that podium. We've got Maxi as well and Baby Ray. Nick just in behind. We've got Ties as well. He's got a massive gap from behind before we have Bad Boy Man, Royk and Henke, who had that first lap collision. He was round. So just stay on the board. Fanfinish does go wide. He's out of the points now. Ben just has to hit the brakes to avoid going into the back of Fear Jack. He'll be next in his list to overtake. Used a lot of battery early on, Ben, trying to bring them places back, coming through Brooklands now. Into Luffield. Ben just hit the rear of Fear Jack. Just think that's just pace difference there between the two cars. As Ben's got the run on him, he's going to look for a move down into Cops. He just sits in behind, just putting that Williams really under pressure. He goes really wide there. I think Ben also went off track there ever so slightly. I'm not so sure, because he looked like he didn't really get that much of an exit. Coming through Beckett's now as Fanfnis has really gone off there. Not sure what's happened, but Ben is going to get the overtake done on Fear Jack quite easily, I'd imagine. Heading up to Stowe, and Dennis has also took the lead for this race. I didn't quite see how that happened, but he will lead on lap 4. Of course, none of these drivers, Maxi and Sendra, have burned, but everyone else has really burned apart from the 2 drivers. Yeah, heading into Village now before we get into the loop. Dennis Panda's going to want to make the move. He's got DRS open. We'll see what Dennis has to say. Coming down to Brooklands. They're going wheel to wheel into Brooklands. Panda takes the lead. Dennis just sits in behind before he's going to look for the switchback. No, he's not. Coming into Luffield. Is Dennis going to get the run coming out of Woodcut and down into Cops? No, he's not. He's just conserving his battery. He's going to wait for them. Final few laps. Got Royker and P7 here. He's just holding on to the bottom end of these sprint points. Of course, only the top 8 scores points in the sprint. Lewis and P10. He's held position. Henke, of course, off 6 with that early collision with bend 8. He's going to be looking to overtake Fanfinish fairly soon. He's been struggling with seeing Fanfinish. We'll stay on the rear wing of Fanfinish here. With Bennable, but DRS. We'll see if Ben has a move in him. Coming up to Stowe. He's got loads of straight line. He's going to make that move stick easy. It's going to be wheel to wheel in Stowe, and Ben gets that move done very easily. But he does go wide. Fanfinish is going to look to fight back. Coming into Vale. Fanfinish locks up. He hits the sausage curve. Not going to be ideal. Panda also retook the lead of this race, coming down the hanger straight. Some beautiful racing going on here. Got Senzo just tucking in behind Dennis, of course. Maxi as well. He's going to be conserving. Here's the ERS. As we've got Henke going down the inside of Roy, coming out of the loop. Down the Wellington straight. It's going to be wheel to wheel between 3 cars. Bad Boy Man's also going to look to get in on this, and the straight line of Bad Boy Man and Henke is going to be wheel to wheel. Vixen receives a 3-second time penalty. Look at this, it's 3 wide coming into Luffield. And Bad Boy Man gets that move done on Henke. Henke goes wide, so this invites Roy back into it. It's wheel to wheel coming out of Woodcut. Is it going to be 3 wide? No, it's going to be 2 wide with Royker and Henke though. Henke goes slightly wide, he keeps it on track though. And Bad Boy Man has taken 7th position. This is a great race for the bottom end of these points here. Of course, in the sprint. See, Panda and Dennis, of course, swapping positions again. Dennis now leads this race. Sendro, sorry, Maxi got really burned, and Sendro gets ever so close to the back of Panda there. Stay on board with Henke if he's going to look to get in front of Bad Boy Man this lap. Only Vixen with a time penalty a minute. He's in P19. Something's happened to him. He's fallen down the order. There's a massive gap between P7 and P6 now. So Bad Boy Man coming out of the loop now. Henke's going to look to get the exit on him. See if Henke will get the move done into Brooklands. Is he going to have a straight line? No, he's not. Lewis is looking for a move. It looks like it's on B-Right. B-Right is flashing. He's going to be down into Luffield. Ben just backs out, but then he gets the switch back done. Coming out of Luffield. Is Lewis going to get the power down? No, he doesn't. Ben takes P10 in this race. He's got no battery left, though. He's got nothing left. He's really trying to get past these early trainer cars just to get into the points. As Henke picks up the 3-second time penalty. That is vital. That is crucial to Henke's race. Coming out of Beckett's now, we see all these trainer cars coming through now. Is Henke going to get the move done on Bad Boy Man? No, he's not. Is Ben going to get the move done on Reuter? No. Just settles in behind with Panda and Dennis just exchanging again. They're going to wait for the last lap of this race to decide this race. As Truba gets a 3-second time penalty as well. He's in P15. Henke really right on the rear of Bad Boy Man, coming through the loop. He's going to get the exit on here. He's going to look to have that move done before we head into Brooklands. He's got that ERS. He's going to go wheel to wheel with Bad Boy Man down into Brooklands. Just stays behind though. He's going to look for the switchback coming out of Luffield, I think, Henke. No, just settles in behind. Reuter is getting right up to the gearbox of Henke there. Ben gets a very nice exit out of Cops there. Stay on board of Panda and Dennis. There's a wheel banging on the hanger straight, but Panda will take the lead on lap 7. Henke and Bad Boy Man exchange positions. There's a really nice fight here for P7. Stay on board with the front runners now. Panda in the lead, of course. It's going to be it's a Ferrari 2-4 at the minute. Maxi and Sendro trying their best to keep up with these guys. We've not burnt a single bit of their ERS. I'd imagine Dennis is just going to sit behind for this. Oh no, he's going down the inside. He's gone down the inside at Brooklands. He takes the lead of this race through Luffield now, as Sendro does go wide. It's going to be so tight between these two on the last lap. Both going to be done. Sendro is right on the rear of Panda now. Look at this trainer. 5, 6 cars looking to take these final points in this sprint race. But we'll go back on board with Dennis. We'll go on board with his rear wing with Panda's Dennis looks like he wants this from the slightly. Panda just sits behind. So yeah, Dennis will be the one depending on this last lap of this race. Of course, Maxi and Sendro in P3 and P4. Nick just up behind them as well. This is gonna be an amazing last lap. Dennis is burning already. He's looking to pull away as much as he can before the DRS zones. He's got 6/10 gap. He really needs to extend that if he wants to win this sprint race. Coming down into Abbey, village, sorry, through the loop, keeps it in third gear. Panda just in behind. We'll stay on board with Dennis's rear wing. Panda's not going to have the gap done. So Panda needs to gain every bit of time as Kim gets 3 seconds through sector 2 and Maggots and Beckett's. Dennis is going to need the exit of his life. As he has a little bit of wobble coming out of left field, that's not going to be great for him. Panda's still got the EOS. As Ben is round, I believe. Ben is round, there's been a pile up. Royker's round, sorry. As contact went back in, but back on board at the front of this race is going to be Panda and Dennis that are going to decide who takes the top step of this sprint race. They're both going to burn everything they have down the hanger straight. Dennis moves over to the right. Panda's going to look like he's going to go down the inside. It's wheel to wheel. Does Dennis keep this position? It's going to be wheel to wheel coming down to the Vale. But the Red Bull and the Ferrari coming down to Club now. There's contact. Dennis goes off the track through Club now, and it is going to be Panda that takes the race victory here at the Silverstone sprint race. It's going to be Dennis that follows up in P2, Sendra in P3, Maxi Block in P4. A nice result from him. P5 for T-Till Nick, P6 for Tyres, P7 for Bad Boy Man, P8 for Henke, P9 for Lewis, P10 for Fant, P11 for Ben, Royker in 12th, Fearjack in 13th, Undertaker Dylan takes 14th, 15th will be Mad G, 16th is Super Churro, Zetu in 17th, Kim in 18th, I didn't see who took 19th, and then Vixen in 20th, I believe that was Super Churro in 19th. So it is Panda that takes the race victory. In the sprint race it is Dennis who takes P2. I've just gone over this list, but I'll find out who got P19. It was Kim, sorry, and it was Super True that took P16. So this is going to be your grid for the race start. Very similar to the start of the sprint, of just, of course, Henke and Ben having them collisions on lap 1. So they'll be looking to make up position in the race. So formation lap has started, and we'll see the tighter choices for these drivers. The front two runners on the hards, mostly medium runners for most of the drivers, but Ty's, Truba and Kim and Janaldi, and of course the front two runners will start on the hards. So it will be an interesting race start. We'll see if Sendro can look to get that early grip to maybe make up maybe 1 or potentially 2 positions up early on. But we'll stay on board with Panda for the formation lap. So the drivers just making their way through club now. As Panda is disqualified, it's gonna be Dennis and Panda pretty much wheel to wheel. So watch for the lights, as they've not even gone away yet. I'm not sure what's happened. Here we go. So watch from this on board. And there's lights out and away we go, and Panda gets a beautiful start despite that qualification. Sendro gets an early lead. There's a Hash right behind looking to make a move. Maxi's also looking to make a move on McLaren driver. There's going to be Dennis going for a move down into Abbey before we head into the loop. A lot of moves going on the back of this grid. Ben's looking to make early moves. Here we go. Dennis looking down the inside of Woodcourt. There's going to be wheel to wheel between these two again. Heading into Luffield. Is Dennis going to get the slipstream? We've gone the rear wing of Panda. Seems to be a lot of scrapping coming around at the back. We'll go on board with that. Yeah, look, it's going to be wheel to wheel here. Dylan, Royker and Dylan both go off track. A lot of smoke coming out back of these cars, but it is Panda that leads on this first lap. Ty's losing 4 positions there. Everyone stayed together for the most part. Sendro's going to make the move on Dennis. It's going to be Dennis that takes P3. Sendro's going to look to push on to his Red Bull on his medium compound tyres, of course. He's going to look to put the pressure on early, take the lead of this race. See Ty's and Fan Finish exchanging positions. What's going on in the front here? Hankey gets the switchback done on TTL Nick. What a move from him. Has a little bit of a wobble coming out club though. Is TTL Nick going to make it stick? No, he's not. Drivers just come into Abbey now. Keep saying Abbey, guys. I do mean Village. Sorry, I'm getting confused with Turn 1 and Village. Just all the drivers settling in now. We see through Brooklands, Fearjack to Trubo and Royker, wheel to wheel through Luffield. Trubo goes wide, and is Jack going to be able to swallow up on this? Is wheel banging on the straight? Are they going to get the move done? Trubo moves over. He's going to go down the inside of Cops, and Trubo spun. Jack's collected with him. Not even sure what's happened there. Kim, all the drivers managed to avoid it. Nicely done from them. Mad G, who avoided the incident, has gone round. It needs to rejoin safely now. I'm not sure what happened to there, but we'll carry on. Panda does lead this race. Got Henke in P5. He's had a great recovery drive so far. All these guys just in the train here. Oh, there's wheel to wheel with Zetu and Vixen. Coming out of club, it's wheel to wheel. Let's see what happens going into Abbey. It's going to be wheel to wheel again. And Vixen gets that move done very nicely. Got Undertaker Dylan pushing onto the back of tyres now. He's up into P12. Just going to stay on board with these trainer cars again, because the top 7 are all in a train here. This is great stuff to see. Of course, Bad Boy Man breaking that train in P8, 1.7 second gap. Got B right in P7. He's going to be looking to make moves. He's burnt a lot of ERS at the start though. Not many of these drivers have burnt their ERS. Sendro has them. He's going to be looking to make an overtake this lap to take the lead of this race. Of course, McLaren's home Grand Prix. Of course, the highest position driver racing at the home Grand Prix today is Ben in P7. As Sendro does take the lead in his McLaren, he will lead come the end of lap 3. Yeah, there isn't many British drivers on the grid. Of course, you've got Ben and Lewis. You've got Undertaker Dylan. You can see cars down. Looks like wheel banger. Yeah, you got Lewis and Ben and Undertaker Dylan and Vixen, of course. You got Fear Jack, and so I think there's only about 5 or 6 British drivers, which is not many considering how much British drivers you have in this league. But there's so many Dutch drivers to see. But it is great to see the diversity here. But back on with the racing. It's going to be centre of leads. Panda does have a little wobble braking into Brooklands. Obviously, a little bit of a position change there. I'm not sure who and where, as we see Tyres and Dylan going too wide. It's going to be wheel banging on the straight. Tyres receives a little bit of contact. Managed to keep on track there. He's burning everything. It's going to be wheel to wheel. I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm not sure. I can't see, but they managed to keep it clean for the most part. Tyres does go wide though. So Sendro is going to look to burn everything. He's breaking the slipstream. Going to do everything to take the lead of this race. Of course, on the medium compound tyres. Maxi just sitting in behind Dennis. Been a great debut for him so far, just settling in. As Henke looks to make the move. As I was saying that, Henke looks like he's just barging his way through Maxi block, but it's going to be Maxi in P5 and Henke into P4. Oh, and Lewis just received a little tap from Fanfinus there. Fanfinus is going to look for the switchback. Tyres is also getting involved. Coming down to the Wellington straight. Straight in the car, it's so good to see here. Panda does retake the lead and didn't quite catch that. That would have been down the Wellington straight. Ben in P6 now, I didn't even notice that. He's got the move done. And next, but it's going to be Ben looking to close in on the Ferrari of Maxi. Maxi's burning everything, so is Ben. Ben's got nothing to burn. As Dixon picks up another 3-second time penalty. That is 21 seconds of time penalties in 2 races. Sorry, Dixon. Had to be said. End of lap 5. Panda leads this race. Also, Dennis got the move done on Sendra. We are back to a 1-2. The plan was 3-4 at the minute there. Of course, Maxi's going to look to change that. Coming down to Wellington straight. Now we've got a train of cars just behind. We've got a train of 6 cars just behind Bad Boy Man here. So it should be interesting to see. Stay on board with Panda for now though. Dennis is gaining, but it's not going to be enough before we head anywhere near Brooklands. Stay on board with these drivers here. Lewis is looking to gain on Bad Boy Man. It's not going to be close enough coming into Woodcote. Coming down into Luffield. Go slightly wide, Lewis there. I'm not sure if that's going to affect him in terms of Fanfinus trying to make a move, but so nice to see trains of cars forming. Just coming around cops now, these drivers. As Bad Boy Man does go wide, that will be a warning for him. Like Undertaker Dylan and P5 got Roger behind him in the Aston Martin. These drivers coming through, Beckett's now coming out of Chapel. Down into the hangar straight before we head up to Stone. It's going to be Lewis that takes P8. Bad Boy Man's going to look to hang it around the outside. He does. There's contact there, heading into Vale. And then Bad Boy Man, just steps in behind. Henke's getting right on the back of his teammate here. I wonder if there's going to be a swap here. And Dixon retired in the pits. Of course, he's not feeling well, but it's great to see that he's raced. But yeah, just an unfortunate race for the Alpha Male driver there. Bad Boy Man and Lewis exchanging positions before they head into Brooklands, coming into Luffield. Just a caution and set the one, so we drivers like Kim, Trubo and Jack will need to look out. But we'll stay on board with Panda's rear wing as the DRS zone is opened onto the hanging straight. Dennis is going to look to take the lead of this race for the first time. Is he going to get the slipstream? He is. He's just going to settle in behind us. Hankey and Kendra have just swapped positions. We see Lewis and Bad Boy Man exchange positions coming down the hanging straight. There's also Undertaker Dylan going wheel to wheel with Royker coming to stay. Royker just sitting in behind him. And we've got yellow flags in sector 2. Unsure who that is. I believe that's Kim just having a little spin there. Panda still leads this race with 8 laps completed. $18 laps to go. Drivers just settling in now to this Grand Prix as we see Lewis and Bad Boy Man still squabbling each other for them positions. As we have seen Nick fall a little bit behind his train, of course, not in a car that really looking to catch up with his front field, but he has done ever so well this season. Of course, still got 8 rounds left. 10 points is the gap in the championship now. It will be 11 after that sprint, of course. Panda gaining 1 position, but we'll see. Saw Dennis go wide at the final corner, so we'll see what the stewards have to say about that. Of course, we'll only change the championship by 1 point if that goes either way. Not much movement going on now. Got from Lewis and Bad Boy Man in the midfield for P8, so we'll stay on board with them. Frankfurt in P10, he's having a great race so far in that AlphaTauri car. The drivers flying past Brooklands. Keeping just an eye on this front field. Drivers settling in now. See Lewis and Bad Boy Man exchange positions again. Any movement going on behind them? No, not really. Of course, we're found 3-4 at the minute. I'm not sure where they're putting in the championship. Of course, the fight for P2 in the constructors is on. Gap was 43 points prior to this weekend, so it will be interesting to see what the standings will be like after that. Of course, Dennis and Maxi 2-4 scoring solid points there for the Ferrari team. Of course, McLaren looking to bring this P2 fight back on. The gap between Red Bull and Ferrari is about 113 points after that sprint race, with 8 rounds to go, 7 after this. Of course, Belgium next week. Not seeing too many driver moves at the minute. Just the same set of drivers exchanging positions. Lewis and Bad Boy Man coming into Stowe. Gap is now 7 seconds. We see our first driver jump into the pit. It is Lewis. Lewis is going to pit to the hard tyres until the end of this race. As Kim picks up a time penalty, we'll see where Lewis comes out here. And I didn't actually notice Royker also must have dived into the pits. He's on the hard compound tyres. Trubo gets another set of penalties. Also, Undertaker Dylan pitting as well. See if this puts Lewis in front of his teammate. I imagine it will do by a little bit of a margin. Of course, they all both want clean air. Oh, it's going to be tight actually between the two drivers. Here we go. Yeah, Lewis just in front there. The undercut not really working for Royker, but Royker's tyres will be warm, so we'll see what happens there. We'll see if any of these front runners decide to hop into the pits. Undercut will be vital here, of course, wanting to get out of that train. They'll be looking to come out in between Gennady and Zetu. That would be sort of optimal for them, as we see that first driver coming into the pits, that is Sendra. All these drivers may be holding out for soft compound tyres maybe. As Bad Boy Man also goes into pits, he gets a 5 second. All these drivers reacting to Lewis's pit stop. Panther joins them as well. As we see, Bad Boy Man and Phantomness come out in 12th or 13th. Bad Boy Man's going to be behind on St. Dylan, so that undercut has worked very well for Lewis there, because and Royker, because he's got a driver in between them two. So of course Dylan will be difficult to overtake there. And we've got our first yellow flag. Trubo retires in the pits. We'll see if any of these drivers react to Sendra's pit stop, of course. Coming out between Zetu and Gennady. As I predicted, Panda dives into the pits, Henke dives into the pits, Dennis stays out, Maxi stays out. Ben also pits, so the Red Bull's going to be double stacking here. Wonder if that will affect Ben's pit stop or stay on board with them. So it's going to be a Ferrari 1-2 provisionally. Potentially looking at softs for the rest of this race. Panda pits to the mediums. Ben gets held up as it's an unsafe release. What's going on? They're getting held up massively. Trubo's left the session. Oh, it's gonna have to be a restart. The lobby's desynced. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, man. Oh, shit. So it is gonna be a restart, guys. So yeah, it is going to be a restart. So guys, it is a restart. Sorry about that, guys, we just had an issue with the lobby, but we will be getting underway with a 25% race to finish. It will be the grid from lap 12, as we had a lobby desync, so apologies to the drivers that pitted beforehand. That is really a shame for them, guys, but there is not a lot we could do. But it is going to be lights out, and away we go. We'll see what happens here. It's going to be going down into turn 1. No, it's kept rather clean at the start. Panda will lead. It's going to be free. See, 3 wide at the back. There's a squabble of cars here. But it is Ben made his way up to P4. No, he's held position, sorry. As there's a Mercedes going wide, it is Bad Boy Man, I believe. He's going to wheel with Ty's Fiesta. There's Kim round now. Kim is round. He's collected Zetu with him. Sem2 will probably be out of this race. Any chance of scoring points. Lewis and Roykin making up 2 positions. There's contact here, I believe. Roykin made up a few positions, yeah. Really nicely done from Roykin there to make up them positions. Ties it up into P8. So a nice job from him. So it will be Panda that leads on lap 1. Ben choosing to start on the soft tyres. We'll get the tyres up now. It's just a mix here of mediums and softs. So we'll see what goes on there. You see, I'm just going to make the move on Royko. It's going to be wheel to wheel coming out of Aintree down the Wellington straight. It's going to be wheel to wheel. Royko going to look for the move coming out into Brooklands. No, he's not. Ben is up into P3 now. He's overtaken Henke. Sender is up into still in P6. Of course, got very unlucky with that early pit stop. Dennis is fighting 2 Ferraris at the minute, but Maxi is in P5, so nice points for Ferrari there. Really struggled with that second driver, scoring points all season. But Maxi's done a fine job on his debut. Ben is burning everything, but it's going to be Dennis and Panda going wheel to wheel, coming down to Stowe, and Panda pulls in behind, so it's going to be Dennis and Ben in first and second. Of course, Ben on the soft compound tyres. Henke's going to look to put the pressure on these three drivers. It is Dennis that leads after 3 laps. DRS is also enabled here. Got a beautiful train of cars. Royker and Lewis in P11 and 12. Ben's right on the back of Dennis here. Is it going to be wheel to wheel into Cops? No, it's not. Ben's just going to sit behind. Just got a beautiful train of cars heard in here. Looks like Ben's going to get the move done, yeah. Is Panda going to follow up on that? Ben gives Panda the slipstream. It's going to be a Red Bull 1-2, but Ben is going to look to fight round the outside here. It's going to be wheel to wheel down into Vale with Dennis, and Dennis breaks late. Is he going to look for the switch back here? Panda has a little slide, a little bit of contact, but Ben does lead this lap race after lap 4. Coming into Abbey now. Go to the back of the screen, of course. Dennis is right on the back of Panda, wanting to keep this pressure and this championship alive, of course. 11 points is the gap as it stands between these two drivers. Maxi's looking to get alongside Henke here, coming down into Brooklyn, sorry. Down into Luffield, Maxi brakes late, goes for a deeper line. Is he going to get the exit? No, he does not. He's going to sit in behind. He's battling everything though. Try and get in front of McLaren. He's going to give up his approach now, I think. Yeah, just sitting in behind. Coming into Cops. It is a Red Bull 1-2 at the minute. Sandro just in behind. Grease that C tyres. Shoe tyres, but there you go. So, well, Ben's burnt everything to get into the lead of this race, of course, starting in P4. Potentially a swap of positions here from the two drivers. As Dennis is going to look for a move down into the village, never mind. Just bails out of it. Henke is also right on the back of the grid. It's really nice playing the cars there. As they look to swap positions now, but Dennis is also going to get the move done. Dennis is up into P2. As they go wheel to wheel through Luffield, Dennis breaks late. Is he going to look for the move? Ben's coming back at him. He's gonna burn everything he has, but Dennis is gonna keep P2. It's just swapping around, and it's gonna be it's wheel to wheel at Cops. As Ben and Panda are getting squabbly, Ben has lost a position now. I think he had contact with his teammate. Just losing the grip of them tyres, but there'll be some conversations there at the Red Bull garage on what's gone on there. But Dennis does lead this race. It's going to be Panda that overtakes him coming up to Stowe. Dennis does brake late. He does look to hold around the outside. As Dennis is still wheel to wheel with him. Down into braking, does go slightly deep. Panda going to look for the switchback. He's right on the rear of him. It's still, as Ben's dived into the pits, he's going to pick to the medium compound tyres. A lot of drivers, all the soft compound tyres, driving into the pits now for the Dennis and Maxi. Dennis and Maxi, two Ferrari drivers, of course. 1 and 4 for them for now. Come around the loop as Panda has a little bit of a wobble. This is going to give Henke an opportunity. He's going to go round the outside of Aintree. It's going to be wheel to wheel going through Brooklands. He just sets him behind. He can't make any move of that. Ben is the leader of them drivers who have pitted, so we'll see how effective the undercut is. I'd imagine to see people like Dennis and Panda pit the slap, but I think Dennis will burn a lot of his DRS. I think it'll be critical to be ahead of Panda on this at the end of this lap, of course, coming into the pits, but he just lets him through. Maybe Dennis isn't thinking about pitting this lap. I think Panda will potentially. As we see yellow flags for Zeta at the back of the grid, they all dive into the pits. Maxi stays out. All the Red Bulls dived in. Dennis has dived in. Henke's diving in. Maxi is leading this race. We'll stay on board with Panda to see where he comes out. That's if he doesn't get held up. He doesn't. And Dennis has got held up. That is so unlucky. He's been held up massively. I think he's lost the position to Henke. He's ghosted. That is so unlucky, man. So unlucky for the Belgian driver. But maybe Maxi could get ahead here, because he'll have this clean lap to himself, and also Panda did get held up. Yeah, quickly it depends as Undertaker then speeds into pit lane and retires from the session. As Ben's just gonna hold up these. Yeah, look, Ben got ahead of Henke, but behind Panda, so he's just gonna hold up this grid bubble as Ben's teammate. So Maxi and Cinder do dive into the pits to see where Maxi comes out. But I think it looks like Ben and Dennis are going to make B-right, and it's going to get to switch. No, he doesn't. Ben is still behind Ben. Where does Maxi Block come out? Does he come out ahead of the Red Bull? This is going to be the question here. I don't think he does. Tyres gets a 3-second time penalty. Where does Maxi come out? I think it's just going to be in between where he was originally. Yeah, just in behind Dennis. Nice pit stop for Maxi Block there in P5 as we see Dennis and Ben going wheel to wheel. Ben goes wide and retakes position, but Ben and Maxi go wheel to wheel now. Ben is burning everything as Maxi's just going to breathe fast and walk on that sole compound tyre. It's P3 and P4 for the Ferraris at the minute. Ben is still looking to fight everything he has. 5 laps left of this race. It is Henke in P2 and Panda in P1. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Henke's going to want to make up this gap. Bad Boy Man picks up a 3-second time penalty. That promotes, and ties over penalty. That promotes Lewis to P9 currently. Panda does lead this race though. Come in around the end of lap 8. Panda also sets the fastest lap of this race. So this would give him a 22-point gap as it stands to Dennis. Of course, with 8 rounds left. I don't. Dennis was looking to make it 5 in a row today, but I don't think it's going to be Dennis's day. Four laps to go of this race. It is a 2-second gap between Panda and Henke in P2. Dennis is going to look to salvage whatever points he can from this race. Dennis is going to look to put some pressure onto Henke. Sendro still swapping positions. Sendro puts himself back into 6th place. Dennis has closed the gap to 1.1 seconds before Magnus and Beckett. It's not going to be enough to get the DRS. He's got no ERS left. The Ferrari driver over is Henke. Henke's given it everything to try and get into Panda's DRS. He hasn't done it. Dennis is looking to give it everything to get into Henke's DRS. Hasn't quite done it as of yet. Coming into club now. Dennis has a huge slide on Maxi. He lets Maxi through, and Ben also gets through as well. That is just snatched away 5 points away from Dennis, which could be the difference in the championship. So Maxi now in P3 in his debut. As Henke receives a 3-second time penalty, that is going to be vital. That will give Dennis a bit of a spark now, surely. Surely looking for a Ferrari double podium here. As Ben goes wide. None of these drivers have the RS with 2 laps to go. I think there's a bit of a slide on the exit. This is going to be really interesting to see who closes up on these final 2 podium positions. As a driver, it was Sam finishes round. Dennis also went wide, come out on top. Sam finishes round there. All these drivers are flashing. Dennis really closing up onto the back of Maxi. As Dennis has had another slide, he's really struggling on his softs. Just needs to recompose himself, Dennis. Ben also has a slide on Maxi. Dennis has got the run on Ben. Down into Village, is he going to look for a move? No, he just sits in behind. Going through the loop now. Dennis is going to be begging his Maxi to break that DRS. But Henke's sort of falling into Maxi's DRS as well, which isn't going to help his cause because he doesn't have much time to gain on. So it's 1.5 laps to go of this race. Maxi's in a provisional P2, Ben's in provisional P3. Dennis is going to look to push on for that P3, of course, on the soft tyres. Ben's of course going to look for that P2 to make it a Red Bull 1-2. Dennis gets the exit he wants out of club. Now we're on to the final lap. Coming through Abbey down into Village we go. Going through the loop, Dennis gets a nice, and he tapped Ben there, he's just lifted off there. He didn't want to cause too much drama, so he's just lifted off. I think he's Sendro looks like he's getting the run on him. Is Sendro going to break fate? He is. He's going to look to keep it around the outside of the Belgian driver. Looking for a switchback there. Dennis is still in the F of Ben, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to need a massive exit or a massive mistake from Ben in Magnets and Beckett. Stay on board with Ben. I think Dennis is more focused on keeping hold of his P4 here, or potentially even P5, because of course Henke might escape that. And yeah, but it is, Panda is coming to the line now. He's coming through Club now, and it is going to be Panda that's going to win this British Grand Prix. What a result from him. Henke's going to come around in P2, but it is going to be Maxi on his debut for Ferrari. That takes P2. Ben takes P3. Dennis takes P4. It's a McLaren 5-6. TTL Nick takes P7. Boyka comes round to take P8. Bad Boy Man in P9. Tyres in P10. But it's going to be Lewis that snatches 2 positions. He goes P9. Rinaldi comes around to make it P12. Here Jack follows in P13. Maggi in 14th. Tampness will come round to take 15th. 14, sorry, to Maggi Canoe. Kim's coming around. They'll know to make it P16 turning. Vettel's gonna move down on him, but it's not gonna matter. He's gonna finish P17. What an end to that race it was. So, if you guys want to join us for interviews, of course, you're more than happy to. See Maxi and Ben join straight away. We'll just see if Panda joins. So Panda is not joining, so we will start off with our P3 podium sitter. That Ben, how are you, mate?
Hello Reese, how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, buzzing with that. Glad to sort of, it was going all wrong at the sort of the beginning, so to come back and get P3 after starting on the wrong strategy there, yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it was a great recovery drive from you. What happened down into turn 1? Because I saw a bit of contact with you and McLaren. Just to explain what happened there.
Yeah, I obviously had Sendra on the outside, there's nowhere else to go, and just trying to brake, and I'm battling him, and then Hanky just comes straight across, and I had just nowhere I could go, or nowhere possible for me to say that. So I think it probably go down as a race incident. I'm not too sure, and then there was a couple of incidents going on, but I've got my footage, and if it gets reported, I'll just report it. But no, apart from that, pace was good, and it was just really nice. It was really clean racing as well. I got tapped a few times, but that happens, and sort of yet again being that second driver today, just doing everything I could for Panda.
Yeah, mate, like you said, it was a great recovery drive, of course, having that incident down into turn 1, but to bring it back onto podiums, it was a very nice race. And of course, what was your thought process coming into them final few laps? Because you had no ERS left, and you were burning everything to try and keep Dennis and Maxi behind, and you gave Panda that gap he wanted to secure him that race win and extend his championship gap.
I knew the boys were going to come flying past me eventually, so I just had to burn it all and just give the Panda the gap, because once he had the gap, there was no catching him. So yeah, then it was just to try and recover from my racing. Hanky had the 3-second time penalty, and just went on from there really. Just kept pushing. It was nice to. I had the pace there, but it just wasn't been able. As it all fell into place at the moment. There's still certain things that's not right, certain things that is right, and some races not going well. So it knocks your confidence a bit, and things like that. But I know it was really nice, and obviously well done to Panda.
Yeah, of course, like you said, well done to Panda, but it was also a great drive from you. But thank you, Ben.
Cheers, Reece, all the best, mate. And just want to say one thing as well, is it's nice to have Maxi back, because it was just smiles all around. He's my best friend, and we haven't spoken for a while because he's been studying, and to have him back and to be racing with him, it brings all the passion back out of me. So yeah, I absolutely love the kid to pieces. So Maxi, well done today. Peter, I'm really happy for you as well. So yeah, let's go.
As Ben said, so right, moving on to Maxi, and Maxi, what a race. P2 on your return. How are you feeling off that one, mate?
Well, I'm feeling like my last race was yesterday. No, no, not quite really that. First of all, I have to thanks a lot Dennis because helped me down with the setup. I was on the wrong way, so this P2 is like 80%, I don't know, 50% his P2 as well because I just copied his setup. Also, very unfortunate for him that mistake that cost him two places, and I couldn't give him any place back because the Red Bull was between us. But yeah, otherwise very fun to race again. Gained pace lap by lap. So yeah, struggled a bit for quali, struggled a bit at the start of the sprint, but yeah, at the end of the main race, felt back again. So I'm hoping I can do other podiums in the next races and bring a lot of points to Ferrari and help out Dennis against Panda, of course. The war is not over.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, mate, you were doing your best to help Dennis out. I saw you were just sitting in behind. A couple of times I saw on the hangar straight, you were just sitting in behind, waiting, holding up the drivers. I think there was Ben and Henke and sometimes Sendro coming along. Were you just thinking about Dennis and his fight with the championship, or were you focusing on McLaren? What were you really focusing on, mate?
Well, when it happened, it was after the pit stops, and of course I had one lap fresh or soft, but I know Dennis' pace, especially. I'm also like nowhere in any standing, so a P3, P4 for me is the same. I mean, P3, P4 for the team is like the same, whatever the order. So I know Dennis is in a fight. Dennis was also still very quick because we were coming back on the McLaren, and I, I don't think if I passed him that I might have made lose time instead of make us gain time. And I wouldn't believe I would be able to catch up the McLaren. In the end, I could after his little mistake, but I wasn't expecting it. So our radar let him carry us, and also just not interfere in his standings. Of course, if there is anything I could help, I'm there to help. So yeah, I had no utility to pass there, I think.
Yeah, just like you said, mate, just working, trying to fight, keep that fight with Dennis. But you are my driver of the day, mate. I just wanted to add that as well. Such a great race to come back to for Silverstone, but to get P2 and you turn back is really nice race from you. You executed it perfectly, mate. So thank you, Maxi.
Thank you.
But so that is it, guys. For round 12 at Realistic, we will be back on Sunday. We've got, I don't know what track it is. I believe it is Hungary, or is it? No, it's Mexico. It's Hungary and Fantasy, which is also runs on Mondays. But we've got Mexico at 10 a.m. for bronze, 12:30 p.m. for silver, and 7 p.m. for gold. Of course, we run Fantasy at 7:30 on a Monday as well, which is Hungary. Then next week for Realistic, we will be in Spa in Belgium, of course. Maxi's and Dennis's home race, of course, both Belgian drivers. But until then, guys, we'll see you then. Goodbye.